A sub-segment is plastic surgery, which I think is interesting for healthcare export initiative from Estonia. And it's of course a relatively small market, but still very growing quickly. And it was about 300 million euros spent here in the Nordic markets. But it's very quickly growing up to 20%. And there's of course a lot of different type of surgeries in here. I mean, breast implants. But what is not seen here is maybe the more, I would say, the more easy type of treatments like Botox injections of fillers, Restylane, hyaluronic acid, etc., which is, I think, is very feasible. You come over for a weekend to Tallinn and you do your small type of surgery, and then you go back 1 or 2 days later. And so that's definitely something that are of interest. And this is a private pay market. It's really out of pocket. You're not reimbursed in any way for most of it. Again, it's a very fragmented market, but there are some places that start to emerge and try to raise the quality and improve the branding. And of course, these players can also be attracted to invest here in Estonia. Tervisest Medical Group is a player that came from Norway, established themselves now in Denmark and in Sweden, but really still a Norwegian player. And they do orthopedic surgery combined with plastic surgery. The most well-known, I would say, in Sweden are Akademikliniken, that comes from Stockholm, the region, but now also have a presence in other parts of Sweden, and has just been bought actually by a private equity player, which normally means that they will invest in other markets. And they try to combine, I would say, better quality, building the brand, and also be more proactive in their marketing approach and attract customers. This is a good and interesting market. So that was the Nordic countries. What about Russia? Of course, we have a city called St. Petersburg that's almost the size of Stockholm or Sweden, so it's a very big market. And of course, Estonia has a good presence in attracting Russian tourists. They travel a lot, and that's seen here by the growth figures, where I mean there's been an increase very rapidly, and it's forecast to continue to increase in the coming years. And the Russians, we know, once they come, they're willing to spend. Maybe they're not coming here for wellness, but still, you know, there are good spenders in all markets that they come. And they come, of course, for the spas and so on. And maybe wellness is not the prime focus today, but maybe over time it can be. Let's see how is the Russian market for wellness developing. And it's a bit problems to get the best figures here, but it's forecast to continue to grow very quickly. It's grown more than 20-25% in the last years, and the projected forecast is that it will actually be close to these growth figures. And it's a combination of fitness, that is almost more than a quarter of the spending. Beauty salon is the biggest, maybe it's both more mature part of the wellness industry, and spa is just starting to merge. There's more growth potential here. And of course, Moscow and St. Petersburg are big parts of this. I mean, if you take private healthcare insurance in Russia, I mean, the level of penetration of that is really in the Moscow region, in the St. Petersburg region, where about 20% of the population has a private health insurance. If you take the rest of Russia, it's more likely 5%. So it's really, again, as we saw by the TV show by Hans Rosen, this is a regional market in many ways, and good spending capacities in the big cities. And here's a bit of view just on the Russian wellness market. As we see again, it's been growing very quickly, and as you see, Russia or Moscow by itself is almost 40% of the Russian market just in the city here. And I think what's important to show up is also that the middle segment is really sizable and growing more rapidly than the high end. So this is not only for the top end of Russian consumers. I mean, they have more money, so I mean, we can attract quite a big part of the population. And as I said, the beauty is more saturated versus the spa, and the fitness, wellness will have a lot of growth potential. And just looking on the Moscow market, what type of indication or service are you doing? I think dentistry is a very interesting part here. That's almost 50%. I would say the same picture we see in the Nordic countries. And just a small story, I mean, what do they do? I know when we had the economic downturn, people said, okay, teeth, are they important to fix them or not? But people were still doing the dentistry, but the smaller type of procedures, like whitening of the teeth. They did not do the big corrections because they didn't need to have that spending capacity 2 or 3 years ago, but still dentistry is prioritized. Another area that is large is gynecology, urology, checkups and so on. That is also part. And just looking where are the clinics, that also match the same pictures. That dentistry and gynecology is here, but also diagnosis is a big part, and cosmetology. they like to spend on beauty in Russia. So that's a bit of insights in the Nordic markets and the Russian market. As you see, there's a lot of potential here, and it's you have some very large cities. I mean, the Helsinki region, the Stockholm region, the St. Petersburg region is very close as well.